Your security deposit is bleeding out, one claw mark at a time. When you live in an apartment, your cat has exactly 2 outlets for all that scratching energy: the gear you buy or the furniture your landlord owns. So I spent 4 straight weeks testing the 5 best cat scratching posts for apartments. And honestly, the price tags did not predict the winners here. Before we start, here's a little twist for you. A $40 post absolutely crushed models costing twice as much, and it nearly stole the #1 spot. Also, one of the 5 posts we're going to look at in this explainer actually trains your cat to destroy your apartment carpet faster. I'll flag that carpet trap the exact moment it comes up. And my #1 overall pick? It has survived 4 straight years of daily assault from a 13-pound cat without wobbling a single time. The gap between first and second place actually comes down to one specific construction detail that most brands still get completely wrong. So definitely stick around for #1. Look, this damage is exactly what we are trying to avoid. In a confined space like an apartment, your cat doesn't have any trees to strip bark from. So they will inevitably target the most stable, resistant surfaces they can find to shed their claw sheaths. If you don't provide a superior alternative for them, they're going to choose the couch corner, the door frame, or the carpet. And that is exactly why we spent 4 weeks intensely testing these products. We need to find gear that actually redirects that instinct effectively. Okay, let's dive into this. To give you the facts, we need a strict foundation so you know this is a truly evidence-based test, not just some roundup of what looks nice online. Every product gets scored out of 10 on 5 distinct pillars. Fit and comfort covers sizing, height, and whether your cat can get a full vertical stretch. Durability looks at the materials and wear resistance. Safety evaluates tip-over risk, loose threads, and exposed hardware. Ease of use looks at assembly, cleaning, and daily reality. And value for money compares the price against its actual performance. This gives us a final letter grade backed entirely by facts. No participation trophies here. Starting our countdown at #5, we have the Amazon Basics cat scratching post with the plush hammock, coming in at about $35. Now on paper, it's very tempting for apartment dwellers, right? It stands 40 inches tall, features a small base, and is designed specifically for tight spaces. You look at it and think, well, it solves the vertical space issue while keeping a tiny footprint. But here is the trap I warned you about earlier. The entire tower is wrapped in carpet, and carpet-covered scratchers teach your cat that clawing your carpet is correct behavior. In an apartment with wall-to-wall carpeting, you are literally paying money to redirect those claws directly into your landlord's flooring. It actively encourages the exact destruction you are trying to prevent. And this brilliantly illustrates why it only gets a final grade of C. Let's look at the scores. Fit and comfort gets a 5 out of 10. Durability is a 4. Safety, also a 4. Ease of use gets an 8, and value for money is a 5. The hidden flaw that almost nobody talks about is that the base is barely 13.5 inches square. That means an 11-pound cat lunging at full speed will tip this 40-inch tower right over. A post that moves gets rejected by your cat, and a rejected post protects absolutely nothing. During testing, I also found exposed staple ends along the base seams, plus loose carpet loops that can actually snag a claw mid-scratch, which is a very real injury risk. Now, it did assemble easily, which earned it that 8 for ease of use, but an undersized base on a tall tower is just a severe tip hazard. Let's move to rank 4 and see a completely different approach. This is the Sofa Scratcher, priced at roughly $70. It fixes the floor space problem so cleverly because it takes up absolutely 0 square feet. Basically, this is a slim panel of hand-woven sisal on a flat frame that slides directly under your sofa leg. It actually locks in place using your furniture's own weight. Your cat scratches the exact corner they've been destroying, the damage transfers to a replaceable surface, and you lose no floor area whatsoever. Honestly, if you live in a studio apartment, this design is the holy grail. Now, what's really interesting about this final grade of B is the contrast in its scores. Fit and comfort is a 7 out of 10. Durability gets a solid 8. Safety is an 8. Ease of use is an 8. But value for money drops down to a 5. So why the drop? Well, the Sisal weave is incredibly tight, way tighter than anything rope wrapped, and it shrugged off 4 weeks of testing with barely a fuzzed edge. Plus, it physically cannot tip over. But here is the catch. It protects exactly one corner. If your cat works both arms of your sofa, and let's face it, most do, you are forced to buy 2 units at $140 total. That costs more than our overall #1 pick. It also only fits furniture with the right leg clearance, so you really have to measure before ordering. It solves a single corner problem brilliantly, but it completely ignores the rest of your furniture. Coming in at #3 is a product that breaks literally every rule on this list. It isn't even a vertical post. Yet it's the one product my test cats completely refuse to leave. This is the PetFusion Ultimate Cat Scratcher Lounge, priced right around $55. Here is something scratching post marketing rarely mentions. A huge share of cats are horizontal scratchers. No vertical tower at any price is ever going to satisfy them. This is a beautifully curved slab of dense recycled cardboard that serves as both a scratcher and a resting surface. That curve lets your cat stretch their full body length out completely flat.
Let's check out why it earned a final grade of A. Fit and comfort is a stellar 9 out of 10. Durability sits at a 6. Safety is a 9. Ease of use is an 8. And value for money gets a 7. The high scores are because cats use this purely for pleasure, and voluntary use is the entire point of this exercise, right? They chose it completely unprompted over every carpeted tower we tested. Safety is also fantastic because there is zero assembly, nothing to tip over, and absolutely no hardware anywhere near your cat's paws. But that trade-off is glaringly obvious in the durability score of 6. Cardboard is just a consumable material. You should expect maybe 8 to 10 months of heavy use before the edges get too soft, and you will absolutely be sweeping cardboard shreds off your floor on a weekly basis. You can flip it over when one side wears down to roughly double its lifespan, but make no mistake, it will eventually need replacing.
Down to the final two, and the margin between them is razor thin. Number 2 is the Frisco 33.5-inch Sisal scratching post, coming in at a very affordable $40. This thing is the absolute price-performance monster of the lineup. At 33.5 inches, it means every cat short of a Maine Coon gets a full, satisfying vertical extension. The rope wrap is dense, the little perch up top doubles as a lookout, and it actively outscored posts that cost $80 and $90. Through my shake test, it stayed remarkably stable and barely budged when a 13-pound cat launched right off of it.
So the crucial point is exactly why this didn't take the top spot, despite getting an A grade. Fit and comfort is a 9 out of 10, durability is a 7, safety gets an 8, ease of use is 7, and value for money, a perfect 10 out of 10. But there are two connected reasons keeping it out of first place. First, it is wrapped in Sisal rope, not woven fabric. Rope naturally loosens over time. Around month 6, you're going to start seeing fuzz and separation at the top, where cats strike the hardest. Simultaneously, the assembly screws actually work themselves loose just from the constant vibration of daily scratching. If you do not remember to retighten those screws monthly, a wobble creeps in. And wobble is the #1 reason cats will abandon a scratching post. If you stay on top of the maintenance, it's superb. If you forget, it quietly degrades. At half the winner's price, it delivers 90% of the performance, but only if you're willing to own a wrench. Which brings us to the winner. Taking the #1 spot is the SmartCat Ultimate Scratching Post. It runs about $85, and it is without a doubt the most over-engineered 32 inches of Sisal I have ever tested. It survived 4 years of daily use from my own cat without a single wobble. It only beat our runner-up in 2 categories, but they are the exact 2 categories that decide whether your cat uses a post for 4 years or just 4 days. And this brings us right back to that crucial detail I mentioned at the very beginning of the explainer. The gap between first and second place comes down to this specific construction choice. The SmartCat post is wrapped in woven Sisal fabric, not rope. Sisal rope has seams and coils that catch your cat's claws and easily unravel over time. Woven fabric simply doesn't. After 4 years of daily use on the unit I've owned, the strike zone shows wear, for sure, but there is zero unraveling. Woven Sisal simply outlasts rope, roughly 3 to 1. This directly leads to its dominant A+ final grade. Fit and comfort, a perfect 10 out of 10. Durability, another flawless 10 out of 10. Safety is a 9, ease of use is an 8, and value for money gets a 9. The second major detail securing this win is the base. It is 16 inches square, heavily weighted, and brings the whole unit to over 16 pounds. I shoved it, I bumped it with a vacuum, and I let a cat hit it at full sprint speed. It simply does not move. More importantly for apartment living, it does not clang against your wall at 3 in the morning, which matters way more than any spec sheet when you have thin walls and a grumpy downstairs neighbor. The only minor knocks here are that at 16 pounds, it's pretty heavy to drag around for cleaning, there's no built-in perch, and you can't buy replacement sleeves. But honestly, given its durability curve, replacing the post is years away anyway. The weighted base totally eliminates wobble, which is the exact failure point that kills every cheaper tower out there. Final verdict, no hedging. If you live in an apartment, you need to buy the SmartCat Ultimate Scratching Post. It takes up less than 1.5 square feet of floor space, the woven Sisal won't shed annoying rope strands into your carpet, and the silent weighted base keeps your security deposit intact by providing a wobble-free full-body stretch. It's the only post that solves the actual problem,
getting your cat to scratch here forever instead of on your couch once. Now, if your budget has a hard stop at $50, get the Frisco Sisal Post, but set a monthly reminder on your phone to tighten those screws. And if your cat completely ignores vertical posts, stop fighting biology and get the PetFusion Lounge instead. That's the scorecard for today. Buy once, buy right, and score the gear before you spend. Don't forget to subscribe because your next purchase is already on my test bench.